Hello everyone, this is Professor Todd Giles and I'm your instructor for Art 170. I want to make this video to help out your understanding of the elements of art. The elements of art can be found in every single piece of artwork ever created. We can even pick up a rock carving from 50,000 years ago and we can find the form. We can define lines, we can define color, we can define texture, we can define space. These are decisions that the artist makes. What type of line, what type of color, texture, how big to make a carving. Should it be small? Should it be humongous? Many of the students who take this course have never really looked at art this intently before. Maybe the most you've looked at art is just going by a painting in a hallway in a business building and thinking, oh, that's cute, that's pretty, or I don't really like that. Look at the huge head on that baby. That might be the only critical time that you've had looking at art. Hopefully this video will help you as we go through the course looking at art and trying to analyze it by using these elements. Our first element is form, and this is one of the simplest of the elements, but it's also a little bit difficult because it has so many layers to it that we could get into, and you don't have to on every single forum or every single paper. The papers, I hope you do go a little bit deeper, but in the forums, when you ask for one sentence, just this beginning shape and structure should suffice. So I've selected a comparison, an El Greco painting and a Michelangelo carving. So what is it? The El Greco is a horizontal rectangular painting of a group of people, 2 men, 2 women, and the center woman is holding a grown man across her lap. So that tells us that it's a painting, that it's horizontal, it's rectangular, and what is being shown. The Michelangelo is a freestanding carving of a woman with a grown man across her lap. We don't have to worry about color, we don't have to worry about any of the other elements, just that. Then we get another layer. Is it representational or non-representational? Representational means we actually know what it is. We can see it. It's a noun. It's a person, place, or thing. The Greco is representational. And the same with Michelangelo, very detailed representation of a man and a woman. Now, since both of these are representational, what I want to do is show you one that is not representational, but it's non-representational. This is by Mark Rothko, and all it is color and shapes. It's very formal, it's very modern. We can't really say what it is. We can't say that's a bunny rabbit. We can't say that that is a mushroom. We can't say that this is a hamburger, because that's not what it is. He's not creating things. He's only creating shapes and colors. If we actually have something that's representational, it can be realism or abstraction. The El Greco is realistic. We can tell that these forms are realistic. However, where is his pelvis in that mass? Look at his upper leg. It's compressed compared to his lower leg that's elongated. So it's abstracted. He's taking reality and changing it for effect. Then look at the Michelangelo. It is very, very realistic. Down to the ultra smallest detail, it is correct. Anatomically, proportions, it is real. It almost looks like Christ could stand up at any moment. But since both of those are realistic, I want to go ahead and show you a fully abstracted piece. This does have elements of a human body, but they are very, very abstracted. They really don't have much realism to them at all. Then we get into the natural elements versus created forms. The El Greco has human beings, and then we have the beam of the cross and then their clothing that are created. And then in the Michelangelo, everything here is natural except for the clothing. And then we have proportions. In the El Greco, the proportions basically are correct except for those elements that are elongated and compressed. For the Michelangelo, the proportions are correct. Then we can talk about closed or open form. In the El Greco, the four people make up somewhat of a rectangle, and they don't really extend out into the surrounding space, except for maybe Mary Magdalene on the right, her shoulders and head reaching into the sky, and maybe John the Apostle, as he's standing there, goes up into the sky on the left. But very little interaction into the space surrounding them. The Michelangelo is the same, I would say somewhat open. The torso and the head of Mary extend into space. Her hand extends a little bit off to our right. Christ's leg extends a little bit, and his foot extend a little bit off to the right. It actually interacts very little with the outside, except for some of these elements. Now, to demonstrate what an open form would be, here's a piece from Mexico, this sculpture, but it is open from the bottom, from the side. It's these very organic forms that have been cut out of a sphere. So it is very open. And then we can look at symmetry. Both of these samples are asymmetrical. The left and the right sides of each one do not match up. This is a small temple from ancient Rome, and the front of the temple is symmetrical. The left side is identical to the right side.